Welcome to Coug on the Clock. I'm Zander Adams.
I'm JD Smith.
And we got a real exciting episode ahead of us today. Some great topics. We're going to start off with some WSU hoops, move on to college basketball in general, take a look at the NBA and the playoff picture, and then we'll round it out with the Jake Paul and Tommy Fury fight. Let's get into it.
All right, first topic, women's Coug basketball.
How you feeling about it? How you feeling about it? How you feeling moving
Congrats to the women because they're sixth or seventh seed in Pac-12 tournament, and no doubt making it to the NCAA tournament. Starting back March 1st, they play for the tournament at Cal they play neutral at Cal number 10. Looks like an easy win. We beat them before. If we win, we go and we face Utah, so we'll probably win. Also, great games we had. We won against UCLA. That was a huge win. Mercatate with 15 and 10, another double-double to win 62-55. That was a great win. That was what we needed. And Charlize Ledger-Walker with 4 assists. And then we dropped against USC, which was a really tough loss. And double OT, 68-65. And Charlize Ledger-Walker had 17 and 10 and 5. But it's a good women's UST team. 21 and 8, they're pretty good. They're right above us right now. That dropped us to the 7th seed. But I think we're still a great team for the women's. Anything you want to add to the top of it?
I mean, definitely. I want to shout out Ula Matuga for the most games played in WSU basketball history. Huge for her. Love to see that. But yeah, they're definitely taking down Cal.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it's a question. Yeah, I think the game to look at is definitely that Utah game coming up after that. But yeah, I'm down to move on to WSU men's. If you are 7th in the Pac-12 with them, 10 and 9 right now. They just hit 500, 15 and 15 overall, following their California road trip, which was huge. I was really banking on that. I wanted to see at least an even season, if not a winning one. One game left. It's the second Apple Cup at UW. They're ranked number 8, just one spot down, 8 and 11. So WSU ahead 2 games in conference. What are you thinking about that UW game in Seattle?
We gotta take that game. Honestly, it's looking pretty bleak for the guys, for the men's. We need to get this win, and we need to win a couple. We need to make a good Pac-12 tournament run if we want to think about getting into the NIT team, being one of the last 4 in. Because right now we've been on a 5-game win streak, which is great. We really turned the season around. The California road trip was a huge road trip, double-doubles from a couple of guys, and we're going to keep a huge streak. But if we gotta keep the hot streak up. We've been on good all season, especially this second half of the season. And if we're looking to capitalize and make a tournament run, we gotta beat the Huskies and just continue the momentum.
Yeah,
I think we can do it.
No, I'll say once we got into conference play, it looked like a completely different team. Like, I did not recognize the team almost, and maybe it just is the Pac-12 was a little weaker than some of the other competitors before. But yeah, they're looking really good. I think we beat UW 2 weeks ago. We can definitely do it again. The only factor is being in Seattle.
All right.
Cool. We'll move on to our next topic now, just college basketball overall. Looking at it, we have Houston number 1, Bama 2, Kansas at 3, UCLA at 4, Arizona sitting at 8. All moving into the conference tournament. Very important times for all of them. You want to break it down a little bit?
Yeah, I got my hometown, Maryland. They were ranked 21st. Shout out them. They beat Northwestern, who had previously beat Purdue, and Maryland also beat Purdue. So that's shaking up Purdue because Purdue's been taking losses. They were atop at 3 a few weeks ago. They got knocked out. FAU overrated. Luke Westfall, you've been chatting. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at. I think Bama's gonna be number 1 seed overall tournament. Brandon Miller has been electric. No matter what the drama surrounding outside, he's still been focused and playing. The first 4 out, I think, is gonna be Penn State, Utah State. Sadly, UNC, who had a deep run last season, but they've had their drama on the court and off the court, and they just haven't been playing well collectively. And also Charleston. I think what are your sleepers? Also your Pac-12 favorites.
I will say my Pac-12 favorites, as much as I would want to take the guys here, the Cougars, it's not going to happen. We might win that first round. It's looking kind of bleak past that. I don't know if it's set even yet for the second round, but
we
or
only
even
have
the first round.
we only have 3 Pac-12 teams in. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if our Cougar men can even get in because they got UCLA, which is a high-ranked team. Arizona is ranked, and then USC is the only team that isn't ranked. But following them is just Arizona State, Oregon, and Utah, and they're ahead of us. So it's like there's three teams that are absolutely making it, and if we want to beat them. I mean, if we want to make it in, we gotta at least beat Arizona State, Oregon, and Utah in the tournament, which is gonna be hard because those are pretty good programs.
Yeah, my favorite probably might have to be UCLA.
No, I like in UCLA, and I'm gonna take Arizona. Even though they lost to the buzzer beater from ASU, I'll still take it. It was a pretty rough one, but
on their senior night too. That's tough.
That was a tough one, but I'll take them. Also, I think it just shows how competitive. Because Penn State is looking like one of the first teams that's not going to be in the tournament, just because I guess maybe how they played in conference, but they're still hosting a record of 17-12, which is pretty better than our Cougs, and they're about to get knocked out of the tournament. They might not make the tournament, depending on how well they do during SEC tournament, not SEC, but
Pac-12,
not even Pac-12. They're Big Ten. Tournament play is very important for all these teams, and it's going to be make or break. And this tournament run, conference play tournament, is going to be something good to watch. So I can't wait to watch it.
Definitely. Absolutely. Well, it looks like we're just up out of time on this segment. We can move on to our next one here. And moving on to the NBA. I might just ramble for 3 minutes straight on this one. Not really. But I'm a big Lakers fan. I have to get the bias out of the way there. But the new look Lakers are looking crazy.
Shout out Bron.
Shout out Bron.
Got to.
Out indefinitely as of a couple hours ago, which is a huge loss, especially as they're trying to surge towards the playoffs and get at least into the play-in. I think they're definitely in the play-in, but without Bron, it's going to be a tough thing. So since the trade deadline, the Lakers are 4-1. The only game that they lost was the first game after the deadline where they didn't even have their players yet. Once they got all those new pieces in, they're 4-0 with those new players. They beat the Mavs, the Warriors twice, beat the Pelicans. So and the one loss was against the Blazers when they set a new franchise record for 3.5. Like they were just scorching that night. So the Lakers are looking crazy. They overcame a 27-point deficit against the Mavericks yesterday. I think they have all the tools after that deadline with D'Lo and Vanderbilt and all the other pieces they added they can get up to the 8 or 7 seed by the time by the end of the season.
But the West is still crazy. Like there's so many stacked teams. You got Memphis, the Suns, Warriors. You can't count the Pelicans out still. Blazers, Mavs. You got the West is just stacked. So I think the West is unpredictable right now because there's so many superstars and so many stacked teams.
Well, there's like even all the teams like out of the play-in right now. Like you have the Thunder at 28 wins, Lakers at 29, Blazers at 29, and then you have Pelicans at 30 for the 10 seed. The play-in is all just teams at 31 wins right now. So every team below that, except for the Spurs and Rockets, of course, because they're all like 2-3 games back from the play-in. Like it's scary in the West.
Oh yeah, the West is pretty tight. And then how about the East though?
The East is, I feel like it's like the top like 5 teams really have it. Of course, you have Nets at 6, so you don't want to count them out either. Like the top 6 is, I feel like, is really where it's going to be. I don't really see the Heat going too crazy in the playoffs, but you can't really discount Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. Of course not.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if I'm taking anyone to come out of the Eastern Conference come playoffs, I think the standings probably stay pretty similar to where they are now by the end of the season, but I think I might have to take Celtics out of the East again.
I like the Heat. I like the Heat with Big Booty Lowry sometimes. he be getting buckets sometimes. When he want to cut up, he can. I like the Nets. I love the Nets. Super young team, great rebuild. It reminds me of the 2018 team they had. So I really like them. Disappointment for me was the Bulls because they had a great season last year, and Lonzo's out, and it's just not looking as good as I thought they were going to be. But I like the 76ers just because of Harden and Embiid. I think that's a great team, and that's a great team in the East. Also, I like the Knicks with Julius Randle and Jalen
Brunson?
Yeah, I like Jalen Brunson with it. I think that's a great team in the East too to watch out. Definitely. Not as highly competitive as the West, but still a good top 6.
Absolutely. We'll move on to our next topic now. We're going to take a look at that Jake Paul Tommy Fury match. First of all, before we get into it, who did you have? Who did you want to win that one?
I wanted Tommy Fury to win just because he's got to keep the legacy. You know, his brother, the best, Tyson Fury.
Exactly.
Literally. And also, you know about the league script that was saying it was fake, which is a crazy script. They're talking about he's gonna have blood come up, and then he's gonna like Jake Paul is just gonna overcome him and win. I think it was a pretty good match, and they had some good jabs, but it was a lot of. I feel like Jake Paul there's a lot of he would hook him and come in, and they would have to break it up. And then, what was your thoughts on it before I get into it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like the biggest talking point I was hearing on that was Jake Paul should have won. He had 2 knockdowns against Tyson. But it's like, you just look at the scorecard. Like, if we're doing it by decision, you have to do it by decision. You got to look at the scorecard and go down it. And I think I'm going to have bias again because I just do not like the Paul brothers. I never really have. So, talking to Alex about it earlier, anytime Jake Paul loses, it's a good day for me. So I just want to see him suffer.
That's the problem child. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not counting that knockdown. We can say it. We can say it because when you in and you get him, he slipped and he hit him and he kind of tapped the ground. But he got right back. It wasn't like he was disorientated and everything. But scorecard went. Jake Paul won one scorecard 75-74. Tommy took the other 2, 76-73. If he didn't win, he's getting disgraced from the family. Let's be honest. We're going to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a nobody. He's just another Fury brother that's not Tyson. Yeah. It was great. He needed to win. And in Paul's speech, he said, "Don't judge me by wins, judge me by losses." That's great. I don't care about that. That was a great speech. Nobody cares though. I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight again. I want to see him fight another boxer. I want to say he looked a little tired, too. I felt like watching him, he seemed a little more fatigued. Tommy seemed like he was cool because Tommy just kept throwing jabs, and he would throw jabs, repeated it, and then Paul would throw a couple big overhands throughout the matches. We throw a couple underhands, you know what I'm saying? That's not. Overhand, like I said, overhand. But it was good. Fury was always tapping at Paul, and it was even the whole fight, 8th round. When he got the knockdown, that's like what people thought set the edge. But I feel like Jake was a little more bloody, and you could see the damage Fury had put on him more than Fury looked. Fury looked like he was good, but maybe that's because Fury has more of a different cut appearance than Jake Paul had. Jake Paul had more of the American look, and he had more of the problem child look, and so that's maybe why it showed more with the look crazy. I don't even know what you call it, look crazy haircut he had. It was cool though, but Fury, he had to win it because if we don't see it, spring bell. If we don't see him win. If he lost, I'm not considering him a real boxer.
I'm going to say, before we wrap it up, I'm just saying, if you give me Jake Paul's bank account and give me 5 years to train, I could step in the ring and perform just like he did. That's my take on it. That's my take on Jake Paul. I ain't gonna lie. That's my take on Jake Paul. I'm sorry. Give me the time, give me the money.
Don't know how to do that.
All right, but that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Coug on the Clock. Thank you for watching. Check out our socials, Twitter at Wazzu Sports Net, Instagram and TikTok, Wazzu Sports Network. Make sure you check out Cable 8 on YouTube and on Instagram. We got a lot of great shows.
Real quick. Birthdays. Shout out my boy, Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah, and shout out my boy, Jamar Chase. Actually, no, I don't like the Bengals. I'm a Ravens fan. Go Baltimore. Anyways, you can continue that.
I believe it's Luca's birthday tomorrow, too. I think I heard that. Don't quote me on that. I think I heard that right before.
It's from another country. Let's just skip that. All right. Go America.
But yeah, Cable 8 on YouTube and Instagram got some great content coming out this semester. I'm loving it all. And make sure you check out our merch store.
All right. I'm JD Smith.
I'm Zander Adams.
We're out.